Hi, my name is Michael Waits. Thank you for joining us for this very special edition of Insurance for the New Possible. We are broadcasting live from the Chubb Insurance booth at the Singapore Fintech Festival, the largest fintech festival in the world and a knowledge platform for the global fintech community. We could not be more excited to be here. Now let's welcome Gabriel Lazaro, Executive Vice President and Head of Digital Business for Chubb Overseas General Insurance, with whom we will discuss Chubb's recent fintech report and beyond embedded insurance, the crucial role of Phygital experiences.
We are live. Gabriel, thank you so much in coming to do this. Can you feel the energy at Singapore Fintech Festival? Can you feel it? I can feel it. I love it. What do you think?
Absolutely, Michael. First of all, thank you.
It's my pleasure.
I'm honored to have this fantastic podcast series during these 3 days. Unbelievable energy.
You can feel it though.
That's right. There are 60,000 people around.
It's unbelievable.
The best fintechs of the world. A lot of innovators, talented people. So now, and thank you also, Judy Tam, for setting up this fantastic
this
booth
is incredible.
Here with a lot of energy, tough falls, partners, future partners, and having wonderful conversations during these 3 days. So we are really excited to kick off these 3 days with you, Michael, and the rest of the team.
Let's jump into this. What are some of the benefits and challenges of embedding insurance into digital customer journeys?
So let's start for the first principle, right? So, and you can see during the last 8 years how embedded insurance has become a real thing, right?
Really?
As we always say, right? Every company is becoming a technology company.
For sure.
Every technology company is becoming a fintech. We are in the Fintech Festival.
Right.
And then embedded insurance is the extra mile, is the next extra mile, right?
Yeah.
Just from our own experience, right, at Chubb,
okay.
We had more than 200 digital innovators and partners around the world.
Wow.
In US, Latin America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Thanks to those partners they had been unbelievable how they have think about innovating around the insurance experience, not only in the selling, also on the claims experience. We have an addressable market of more than 400 million people that see the value proposition globally. And that's real, right? We have insured more than 25 million people end-to-end digitally. And just in Asia, for example, with ride-hailing, we are insuring more than 500 million people that has been protected thanks to our insurance, right? So I think that's the beginning. We are just in the tip of the iceberg. This is just first base. Talking about
baseball.
Talking about baseball, right?
Baseball analogies.
So we only see opportunities, really, opportunities and a great future for embedded insurance and what Chubb is doing in particular and around this space globally.
Can we do this? You talked about these 400 million people and then 100 to 150 million people here, right? And we spent a lot of time in the last 5 years talking about digital transformation, right? But what is the importance of omni-channel distribution? And let's talk a little bit about what role Phygital plays, right? Because I think there's this convergence now of we're doing all this great stuff online, but then how do we port it over to offline as well? And why does that matter?
Yeah, that's right. Let me start for providing a little bit of context, right? We did a survey to financial services globally.
Right.
And we understand that zooming in Asia, right? 60% of the customers, they are willing to purchase an insurance.
Right.
And 40% of them, they are willing to do it online, digitally. So there are 60% that also they would like to do it offline, right? So after we kind of crack the code, we are humble, but we have already shared the numbers and the fantastic trajectory that we are with our partners. There is a huge opportunity to expand the end-to-end digital and complementing a blended experience between digital and physical. That's what we call Phygital, right?
Right.
And think about the customer journey.
There
are certain parts, and don't think about insurance, things beyond insurance, right? That in certain moments, right, you like to talk to someone, maybe talking about insurance when you are looking for a much more complex product, or you are in a claims experience that someone you need to help you.
Yeah.
So that's an opportunity looking forward.
Right.
As well, if you see our retail experience, for example, many of the purchases are in a store, right?
Right. Yep.
Even we, e-commerce is huge, and
I went
Southeast
shopping
Asia-
2 days ago. I did it online, and then I did some stuff offline. That's the perfect example of this, right?
That's right. And yes, Southeast Asia is $250 billion already in e-commerce,
It's
right?
massive.
$1 trillion in the next 5 years, but
Right.
still we like to go offline, and sometimes having the experience going to a store, see the good, talk with someone, right? We that's happening. So, and there are humans, the one who really help us, right?
Right.
And the idea is to how can technology help those humans to be better in what they do, provide
Right.
better experience,
Yeah.
right? So we have technology and capabilities thanks to Chubb Studio in order to enable those people, right, that sell insurance to be much more better in what they do.
Can I give you a little anecdote if you don't mind? You know, I arrived in Singapore a few days ago. I needed to buy a few things, but I needed to make sure that those things actually worked. And if they didn't, I wanted to have some assurance, which in my mind leads to insurance, that they were going to be okay. And when I bought them, the guy actually said to me, there's this kind of warranty on it. And I really thought, because I want to talk a little bit about contextual,
That's right.
a little bit, I thought if I could just embed the insurance into that purchase right there, it would just make my life feel so much better. I would feel protected. Does that make
right.
sense?
That makes totally sense, and that's how we are approaching insurance, right? Is talking with partners and understand those moments
Right.
in which insurance makes sense.
But that's the key though, right? Where
That's
it does
right.
make sense. Can we talk a little bit about some of the benefits of offering embedded insurance specifically for banks and for fintechs, right? So outside of the specific insurance industry, but still inside fintech. Where does
No.
it work for banks and in fintechs?
That's a great question. Thank you, Michael. And again, we did a survey. With more than, I think, 300 executives worldwide on the fintech space, right?
Okay.
And it was a very interesting insights that survey provided, and it was released a few weeks ago. So I encourage everyone go to chubb.com and look for this fintech report so they can download it and read more.
We'll put
It's
a link
open.
we'll put a link in the show notes so
Thank
people
you.
can
So
look
it's
at
open
it.
to the public, so that's for everyone benefit. And I will underline 3 benefits that the
Please.
survey. So the first one is obvious, but I think with the macroeconomics and the circumstances, but is revenue.
Yeah.
So 50% of the people that it was interviewed said that at least 10% of the income for their fintechs will come from insurance.
Really?
That's right. So 9 out of 10 people said that insurance on the fintech sector said that insurance has passed from a nice to have to a must have. So that's the first one, right? So
Right.
it looks like it's really helping companies on the bottom line. And now that we know the macroeconomics and the circumstances, especially in the fintech side, so with the rates of interest, so I think insurance can play a role.
Yeah.
But that's one. For me, what is most important are the second 2 factors. 60% of those fintech executives said that insurance reinforces the value proposition. And you think about it, right? So if you are providing credit, you are providing loans, you are providing, the kind of financial services, insurance is an extra mile that provides this enriched value proposition to the users, especially if we are doing that contextually in the way we mentioned, right? With great user experience from the selling, from the claims, a product that is relevant in the moment of truth. That's really something that executives believe that can make the difference. And the third one, Michael, is that, and that means nowadays even more important, is that insurance provides trust to those institutions, and especially a company like Chubb.
Right.
As you know, we are in 54 countries. We are one of the best insurance. So, I mean, not the best. I want you to be humble, right? We are the global largest P&C insurance, 54 countries, right? $50 billion more or less of revenue. So we are a reliable company, and that being part of the ecosystems of services really provide trust to the end user.
Can you talk to me a little bit more about this? Because this is actually really important to me too. Where does the rubber hit the road when it comes to providing this trust feeling? How does that happen?
So you mean from the end user perspective,
from the end user
partner?
From the end user perspective, but also from the partner perspective, right? Because we spent a lot of time talking about the partner experience as well. So I'm curious about how it feeds into the partner and then feeds into their customers. Yeah.
So at the end, if you have a company like Chubb backing up the experience, you know that we're more than 100 years company.
Yep.
So that when if something goes wrong to that person or to the businesses, right, we are going to be there, and we are in the moment of need. I think that's a key message in terms of trust, right? And also it's about the experience that we have with all the partners that we have internationally, to our partners, right? We are not, when we talk with an innovator or a platform, we have done that before. We know how to create great digital programs, insurance digital programs with our partners that are really successful in a way that is profitable growth, and they fulfill the need. The last comment about trust is about NPS. So we really test in the claims moment of truth, and we aim for the highest, and we have with our financial services in sometimes up to 92% NPS, so that's unbelievable.
That's a high net promoter score.
That's right.
Right. Can we talk a little bit about company culture, if you don't mind? We talk about this a lot offline, but I think it's really important to point out. There are some companies that start with no, and then there are certain companies that start with we'll figure it out. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because that I think is really cool.
Oh, no, thank you, Michael. So I think about Chubb, I think we have a very entrepreneurial attitude.
It feels like it.
So we are humble. We really care about our partners and our customers. That's our main focus. Every day is day one.
Every day is day one. I like it.
Every day is day one. We are hungry in terms of innovating and creating something new. We look forward, not backward, right? So yeah, it's I think that's part of our culture, right? We like to partner with the ecosystem and build something great together, right? That's our approach.
Can I ask you this as well? Do you think there's an analogy between excelling at sport and excelling at business? Just the dedication and just the care that it takes to actually be good at one thing helps you be good at something else.
That touched me personally.
Okay, go ahead. I'm really curious.
No, listen, I have a theory about it, right? So I've been an athlete all my life, so I believe that if you're an athlete, I think it's not just doing the sport, it's how you approach life, how you approach your craft, your discipline, your routines, how you mentally prepare to what's coming, right? So how you eat, how you sleep, how you sometimes things are not working, and then you need to come back, right? Sports help you to the setbacks, and then you come back like so. Right. I think that's, for me, it's a way of life, and I think in the future, right, executives will become much more like an athletes.
I think so for sure, though.
And you see, I think that 80% of the CEOs, they are regular sports, right? And I think just that, again, the type of the iceberg. I think there's going to be a movement around that in the future. But yeah, I think that sports is a great proxy for life.
I think so too.
It's a good mental and physical routines that to help you to also for professionalism, my own perspective.
But I completely agree, and I want to point this out explicitly, and I'll tell you why. Because I think if you go to bed on a Friday night because you want to wake up on Saturday morning and go running, then you can't do silly things on Friday night. And all of the I mean this really seriously, all the prep you do into Friday means when you wake up Saturday, you're ready to strap on your shoes and go. And I don't think there's any difference between what you do Friday night and what you do, I'm going to just say metaphorically, on Sunday night when you're preparing for work.
That's right. Especially if you work,
same thing.
Especially if you work like myself and others in a global role.
Yeah, exactly.
I have 24 hours.
Right. There is no break in between.
There is no break. So you need to be very, very focused, very disciplined, right? It's a great ride.
but if you said focus and discipline talking about work, or focus and discipline talking about being athletic,
about life,
it's the same thing.
It's about
the
life.
Same thing.
It's about life.
Okay,
right?
One last thing before I let you go. What does the future look like for embedded financial products and Phygital experiences?
We are so excited, and we are here in the Fintech Festival, and again, and today we just to share with you, and I think you are going to have Sid. I encourage everyone to
cannot wait to have Sid on the
listen.
show.
But we are, Chubb in particular, right? We just launched. We always try to innovate and listen our partners and our customers and try to do better. So we just launched our Chubb Studio partner portal. So they will find, I think, around 10, 15 value proposition for retailers, fintech, telcos. It's unbelievable work that has been before. And not only that, there is I think per region, I think it's 40, 50 products that people can access directly on the portal. We have a sandbox with APIs, SDKs, landing pages. We have also the quoting, the selling, the claims. I think, honestly, no one in the insurance sectors have done that. So we are super excited, super pumped of this milestone, and kudos to the team, right? That's the first thing. we see the future amazing in terms of opportunities, right? I think that every company is going to try to, again, increase the trust that they offer to the market.
Absolutely.
Increase the value proposition. Everything is going to be enabled by platforms and ecosystems. Now is our day-to-day job. And insurance, right, is going to play a significant role around the world, right? Different realities in Asia Pacific, Latin America, Europe, Japan, or US, right? But at the end, I mean, it's just how can we help people, businesses, families, right? In the moment of need. How can we create those products and those experiences that really reduce the protection gap? And if something goes wrong, we can step in and a frictionless manner and help them to carry on in that moment. That's our vision. We are super excited about breaking out this glass ceilings and make something meaningful for millions of people around the world.
That is an awesome way to end. It's perfect. Enjoy the rest of the Singapore Fintech Festival. Keep the energy level high, and thank you again for doing this.
Thank you, Michael. It has been a pleasure.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don't forget to follow Insurance for the New Possible on your favorite podcast platform and on YouTube to stay up to date on all of our amazing and informative content.